First one is going into S tier. You betcha Don loves his guns. And I'm not talking my left and right arm. And this kid is a perfect upstanding citizen that defends his property with all means necessary. Sucks it wasn't the real thing, but whatever. Next up is...
Whoa. What the hell do you think you're doing right now? We didn't even get to say hello to our fans. You can't just bust in like that and start the list. Why would you do that?
Man, I'd love to bust.
Not now, Joe.
I would have no problem with saying hello and all that, but you can't make me waste any more time on some shit like this when there are several boxes with my name on them right under the Christmas tree straight across the room. Now, if you would excuse me, I need to make some rankings. So next trap is not really a trap, but rather straight up murder attempt, which might be illegal, but fucking rad. Although it can be very effective if it were to happen, it's going into D tier because there ain't no way actual human would not dodge it. These fuckers had at least a couple of seconds to dodge it, and they just stood there like some cardboard cutouts. Next trap did similar damage to the brick in the movie, which is fucking disgraceful to the lethality of bricks, but it's basically a fully heated up iron, and it gave Marv a first-degree burn scar on the forehead. And it's a cool idea, but it happens pretty early on, and I was busy opening gifts whenever this movie played on TV every year, so I still don't know how it got activated or if it's hard to set up. But you gotta wait for it to heat up, and then you need to make a mechanism for it, which I think was a basic rope, and I don't know. I'd say it's not too clever because you gotta be chromosome deficient to step on a frickin' rope, but Joe would definitely fall for it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to front. I would fall for it, just like I fell for Jenna Ortega first time I saw it.
Gross. But what is this ranking even based on in the first place? Is it ranked on the way it looks, or in the terms of damage, or maybe how complicated it is? You didn't really specify that yet.
Yeah, dipshit, I didn't, because we don't really need to. It's a Home Alone Traps tier list, not a Bloons TD level. Instead of getting into technicalities, I just go with the flow and state out my opinions, and Don's opinions is all that people want and need. I'm their mecca. They eat it up like some brand new Trump meal at McDonald's.
Everyone wants to take a bite out of Donnie. He is a certified munch, and Joe is a muncher. If you know, you know.
If I knew what that meant, I think I would sue you, but fortunately for you, I am not brain rotted to your levels. Now, silence you all, because Don is on his way for another rankings. The nail on the stairs was probably there from the start, and it wasn't even set up by Kevin. But if it was, then I applaud him. Putting this up on steep wooden stairs is a genius move, and I am always disappointed when he only taps his foot on it instead of just going full-on stomping. This movie would be fire if they could legitimately die while doing these stunts and just bleed all over the set. It would pair well with the first trap in the top of the list.
Are we exploring the psychopathic side of you? Jesus, who would even think about risking actors' life for a movie? I mean, of course, when it comes to people like Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan, then you are feeling pretty sure they will not crumble, but risking 2 lives for a feel-good Christmas comedy.
But no, Barry, Trump has a good point. The movie would feel more real and less cheesy that way if their lives would be at stake, and if they actually didn't know about those traps. Can you imagine the nail trap if it were not simulated at all?
I am extremely upset that only Joe gets me, but it is how it is. However, next trap is, I think it's those slippy stairs. Well, they're not that much of a trap, and Marv was insanely clumsy to fall in there, but I guess that's what the director wanted. Still, it's getting a fucking note from me, but the list just gave me an unoververse card with the next one, as it's going to the God tier. I mean, bro made a freaking flamethrower trap. It doesn't get any more metal than that.
When I was researching this phenomenal franchise, I actually found an article, and they got some insider info from the set, and they found out that there was no CGI in that torch scene. They actually set Joe Pesci on fire. I don't know if he had some fire-resistant padding under that hat, but I appreciate it anyway.
Huh, an actual fun fact without any nasty catch is not something unexpected. Kudos to you, Joe, for bringing your 4 letters into this, and that's very interesting.
Don't try to spin it around in a good way, Barry. We both know he only researched that movie because the main actor is a kid. Was a kid when he starred in this movie. I think he ended up like Hunter when he became adult, but that's not here nor there, so let's just kick in the second gear and do more rankings because my hands are shaking to unwrap those bow ties.
and some extremely small hands at that. Golly, how are you going to weigh half a fucking cruise ship, yet have hands the size of my left testicle?
I don't know if that's appropriate for this channel, and that's definitely not a sentence a normal human would excruciate out of their mouth, but here you are. And it's not normal or healthy in any way, shape, or form, so you really should get that checked out because it seems like a serious cancer risk.
Nah, it can't be that. I was injecting myself with estrogen, so maybe my balls turned into boobs. Maybe the right side of my balls just didn't get the memo. Sure, it might have happened after I turned 80 and it is red. Hair follicles are falling off there and it burns whenever I touch it. And you already know Joe Dog touches it repeatedly. They don't call me Joe Dog for nothing, but no, it can't be that. I just am a big papa and I just have big balls, but literally, not figuratively.
I'm not in the mood to hear about how our 82 years old president is injecting himself with estrogen for no apparent reason at all, and to hear how he's touching his junk all day in his goon cave, so I'll just ignore it and carry on with the list. And we instantly have a banger because goddamn those broken ornaments are the worst. Once I stepped on a shard when I was decorating my tree and I just straight up did the and that's why it's a no-brainer S tier. Then we have a real wishy-washy ranking ahead because however creative some of these traps aren't, they are simply lame or stupid. The paint can one just messes me up. All they needed to do was to step aside or duck. Literally just move. And while the next one is obvious, I wouldn't look at the doorknob before opening the door so I'd fall for it. As I was saying, it's wishy-washy because we have another dumbass idea lined up. Actually, scratch that. We have back-to-back D-tier ranking and I'm going to explain it. When Kevin got to Treehouse, Joe said that he can't run anywhere else and is bluffing the phone call and that his plan was for them to follow him. So that's exactly what they won't do. So what did Joe did 5 seconds later? He fucking followed Kevin. I swear, this was the most stupid moment I saw in this movie. But basically the trap was to cut the rope while they were climbing to him like it was Assassin's Creed. And when Kevin executed that, they slammed straight into the house wall and then fell into the pile of snow. And then somehow Kevin escaped. But I still don't know if he jumped off that treehouse or got some secret exit, because that shit was pretty high up. Next one is a stinker, because who actually uses keyhole to peep at someone?
I do because it's my good old reliable. Why would you change something that works perfectly fine? Sure, you can't use it when someone else is nearby because they would see you crunching near the door, but whenever Trump is taking a shower, no one is near the bathroom, so old Joey gets a free exclusive show just for him.
What the fuck? Barry, please, remind me to install a proximity sensor at White House bathroom's door when I become the president. But since we got last one to rank, I'll tell you that I fell for it multiple times. When that little shit Baron was playing with his fucking Hot Wheels, he always left it all across the room. And not only they hurt your feet, but they send you all across the room like you were on some Heelys.
Oh, come on, man. Every kid's gonna come with a couple of accidents. That's just how they are.
Barry, it was 3 fucking months ago.